My first assumption was that this was going to be a public shooting range, that it was going to teach gun safety, I wasn't crazy about that idea, but unfortunately, the more I found out about it, the worse and worse it got. And my mouth dropped open, and it wasn't clear in that article in the Sentinel exactly where it would be, but then the very next day I got a registered letter from the town of Winchester that made clear that it was going to be right across the road from me and that I was in a butter. It turns out that these people who call themselves Ridgeline now are not going to be having a public shooting range that teaches gun safety. It's going to be a private club for members only, and it's going to be dedicated to training people to be snipers.
Ridgeline, that's pretty divisive in town. Pretty divisive subject. I'm neutral. I'm not opposed to it. I can understand the safety concerns a lot of people have about it, but originally I was opposed to it. But if the owner can actually follow through on the safety guidelines he described to me, I don't think there'd be a safety issue, but it's definitely going to be a problem with noise in this town.
Would I change my stance if it were an indoor shooting range? I would. I would certainly feel a lot more differently about it. I mean, that changes so much for safety and noise. Yes. In fact, I might even be interested in being a customer, as a lot of us are. Most of the people who are against the range are shooters. We have guns. We support gun rights.
Well, when I came, my husband and I were going to be retired, and then he passed away, so I went back into a business which we had together, restoring houses and building houses. And I do have an investment that I am concerned about because I built the new home down here, and I also own the depot. And right now that house is just sitting there, and folks that have come to look at it, when I've asked the realtor to disclose about Ridgeline, because I feel that a potential buyer should know, and as soon as they find out what the magnitude of it is, they just no, not interested.
I think you can just use your common sense. Who in their right mind would buy a house that's right across from a gun range?
You know, would you buy a house next to a shooting range? And I said, well, yeah, I would, but I'd probably be the only guy who would, because I'd love to be able to get up and go to the end of my driveway and say, I'm gonna go shooting.
I shouldn't be forced to sell my home because this thing comes in. I don't want to sell my home. I'm 66 years old. I've lived in that house for 26 years. My daughter was born there, and we raised our family there. My intention was to die in that house. But if this comes in, I'm going to have to move.